Hey guys, Coach Rob here. So we're talking about now how to get steps entered into your True North Fitness app. There's a couple ways to get this done. One is if you own a Fitbit that tracks your steps and gathers different information as a wearable. Or two, if you're using some other wearable or some other app. So first off, kind of the easiest thing is if you're using a Fitbit. So if you're using a Fitbit, here I am on my dashboard. If I hit the More button, I'll go down into here, so I can go to Fitbit and I can connect. So I use the Fitbit app for nutrition coaching. I don't actually wear one, but if I did wear one, this would be the process right here. And then when I got back to my dashboard, when it synced in and did my steps, it would update my steps, and it updates it regularly. So through the course of the day, this would get updated. I get mine in the morning each day, and I'll show you how you do that. So that's how you do it if you have a Fitbit. So the other way is if you don't have a Fitbit, you either have some other wearable or use some other app. I use a different wearable, so I do it this way. So what you're going to want to do is, I'm going to jump over here to my Fitbit app. So using my Fitbit app, this is how I enter my nutrition. Sorry about all those. This is how I enter my nutrition. So there's one of two ways. Whether you're using an app or a wearable, you're going to get likely distance and miles and number of steps. So the way you do this is in Fitbit is if you go down and I hit the plus right there, it's going to say, what did you do? I'm going to say, I went for a walk. All right, now for my walk, let's say today. Okay, so today, this morning, the time doesn't really matter, but let's say at 8:30 a.m. I went for a walk. Let's say it was 30 minutes, and let's say my distance that we went was 1.5 miles. So I log it. All right, so it logged that distance. So now what you do is if we go back over and track this out, let's see if this updates this quickly. So it has there you go. So today, so 1.5 miles for me is 3,231 steps. What's important is that when you go into the Fitbit app, make sure you've gone into your profile and you've entered your right height. Because what it does is it looks at the distance and your height, and it assumes an average distance per step. And it's going to calculate the number of steps for you. So if you're really super detailed, you can take a look at your wearable or your app and say how many steps. And they're not going to be exact, but they should be pretty close. You know, if your wearable says you did 5,000 steps and the app says you did 3,200, well, I can't tell you 5,000 steps is vastly too many for 1.5 miles, unless you're maybe like 2 feet tall, because steps are steps. So it should be pretty close. And that's the way I do it. I look at the distance between whether I'm using my Polar watch or my other wearable on my wrist that's just the daily activity type of device, and I sum those up and I enter those in, and then it pops over. So that's how you log your steps, and you'll have to download the Fitbit app, which is also why I use Fitbit for my nutrition. It keeps all my apps into one place. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense, and that's how you can track your steps, and we can keep up with them as it's going to log into your system. So thank you.